Hello, Internet. Hello, future me. Today is Saturday, 4th of November, 7 p.m., 7:17 p.m. Today, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. One thing I wanted to talk about is I looked back at some of my videos, and what I noticed is I use way too much filler. Like, and and I guess maybe not even might be a good idea. I think, oh, I think is the other filler I happen to use a lot, which I found a bit embarrassing, at least in terms of the amount of these fillers I'm using, especially because I thought I fixed this issue years ago in like middle school. And maybe, I guess, during presentations, because that's when I used to use a lot of fillers, I believe. Um, yeah, that's when I had an issue with using fillers, so I was focused on avoiding them. But when I looked back, I noticed how much fillers I was using. So one thing I want to comment on today is that from now on I'm going to be more conscious and try to avoid fillers because I hate fillers. And yeah, now I'm struggling to talk a bit. I guess is another one I should stop over because I need to think before I say, and my thinking is slow sometimes, or usually it's like usually I'm thinking a lot of stuff at once. So when I need to focus on the right thought for for it to be expressed out of my mouth, sometimes it takes a bit of time. But in this case, it feels more like my mind is blank. But it's alright. So yeah, hopefully future videos I'll be using less fillers because when I use fillers, it, from my opinion, it devalues whatever I'm saying. It weakens the content. It weakens the not reliability, but I guess it it makes my talking sound less confident, and I'm already not a confident guy, so doing that, I think doing that creates additional um what's the word, non-vocal communication, that reduces, uh, well, from my understanding, it adds another layer of insecurity, I guess, in what I express from my mouth. So I do want to work on that. And it might just be that this is an issue happening with this, but usually I don't record myself talking, so it could be that I have been using a lot of fillers. I just haven't noticed. So it's kind of sad for me because I thought I fixed this, but I guess I'll start having to be more conscious of it and just day-to-day conversations as well, as well. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Other stuff. I realize the tone of this channel is pretty serious, and it's not that I don't mind it, but if I'm going to put myself in this digital space, I do want to show what I really am, which is that I'm not always that serious. I usually am more goofy, but it's definitely different, talking to nothing, or also talking to myself. It's not, jokes don't come out naturally because it's not a rat-a-tat, it's not a conversation. I'm just talking, I'm monologuing. Jokes come when I'm talking, I guess. Not talking, having a conversation, So it's not like I'm gonna change the tone, I'm gonna be more comedic or whatever. I think that ruins the authenticity of this series as well, because I'm not here to really entertain. This is more recording, journaling, possibly a conversation with, anonymous people out there. But yeah. But my point was that sometimes I think it would be nice if I talk about something less serious, or something, more casual. Which, speaking of, first thing I want to comment on is the new series, or currently in this time period, the new series of Loki, season 2. I'm really enjoying it, and this whole concept of, like, this timey-wimey, like, how fucked up the movement of time is, and it's very fascinating. I think what Marvel does is interesting, at least in terms of Loki, is usually a lot of universes use a specific sci-fi rule for time, and Marvel was for a long time where it just splits branches, whenever you time travel, which made a lot of sense, or logically sound enough. But now there's time loops, there's going to other universes, and then spoilers now, there's a time travel of just your mind. So you go back in time where you already were, but your consciousness is moving back in time, or future, or whatever. So it's really interesting seeing these different forms of time traveling, or time traveling consequences, which fits well with the whole idea that time and the multiverse is like getting fucked up. But of course, I like to complain, and one issue I realized is Loki doesn't seem like Loki anymore in terms of being a Norse god. They show his powers, but that's the extent, I don't really see him as a god anymore, unfortunately. Like, the way he acts is too human. He's the god of trickster, and he gets surprised really easily, which I understand. Well, I don't understand. I think it's unfortunate that Loki isn't Loki anymore. And I guess the point of the show is showing the growth of Loki as a character as well. But at the same time, I wish they didn't, scrape off that trickster part of Loki where he's still, a trickster god. It doesn't have to be evil, but it's hard to say. There should be certain recognizable elements that creates I don't want to say creates a distance, but you can clearly see he's not just a human. He's a Asgardian. But I just don't see that. And also, it's to do with the clothing as well, which he looks very, what was the actor's name? Tom Hiddleston? It's fine. I really like the suit and all, but he just doesn't seem like a Norse god, and I don't know. That just doesn't sit right with me. but it's a very minor thing. Overall, the series, I still enjoy it. Currently, a lot of what Marvel puts out there has been a bit of a disappointment. Even was it Werewolf by Night? There was a lot of praise, but I still find that series oh no, it wasn't series. That short film. It's not a short film. I don't know what you call it, but that video a bit disappointing. It started out good, but I don't know, it's just with Marvel, they always go through the same way to end, which is this big action. There's always CGI. There's, they have to make things really big. They always have to end it big. And it's, even in Moon Knight, it was, I said, even in Moon Knight, I like that fighting scene between Moon Knight and Arthur Harrow, was it? That was fine. But then they had to add the Egyptian gods fighting. And they're so fucking huge and all that. And it just ruins everything. And that was the same for Shang-Chi. They had to bring in a big dragon. And up until then, the story was fine. But yeah, it's just, yeah, and then bending water, like, are you kidding me? After all that cool kung fu, it becomes less. I get there's like, usually kung fu movies, there's the more grounded, fast, physical, and there's some more like fantastical ones where you can kind of fly, like the Crouching Tiger. That's more fantastical kung fu. But Shang-Chi it goes a bit too far into, the, what's the word? The cookie cutter formula of ending it with big CGI action. And what Loki does is different. I like the ending there, because a lot of it was exposition. And I understand that a lot of people didn't like that, but it was such a different twist than a usual Marvel series, so I really liked it. And it explained so much as well. It's like the big reveal. And it was Kang. Now, I haven't seen, I can't see the ending of season 2, but I will be excited for that. I know it's not just going to be a big action CGI scene. But yeah. But yeah. Werewolf by Midnight, that was, yeah, unfortunate as well. And the problem, I guess the CGI part wasn't that big of a deal. The problem I had was at the end, I remember, when it became the tone was changed to very humorous, lighthearted, even though it was with the Swamp Thing, I mean, I guess Swamp Thing might be a nice character, but what I remember is it ruined the tone. The tone, it has like a darker tone, They use black and white coloring and all that. It was good. There's blood and all that. And then they just ruin it with the classic Marvel lightheartedness. So that, I think, was one of the disappointing aspect of that. But Loki so far, not bad. I enjoy it. We'll see. And it's already been 15 minutes. Wow. Another thing, completely different ramble, I guess, to talk about something about me as well. And maybe my future me can look back and be like, I used to like that. Right now I'm really interested in not just cooking, but the culinary culture. I obviously do not want to be a chef. That's not what I aspire to be, and I know how stressful the environment is. Not something I need. But I am working in that like industry, sort of say. Um, because I do like the hospitality stuff. I enjoy it. There's a nearby cruise ship that doesn't it's now just a stationary hotel, but I do like serving and stuff. And I enjoy that, like learning like how the plates and utensil silverware is supposed to be placed, different types of wine and what fits with what, and how people behave in the networking culture within that activity, and then how food comes in. I'll be honest, the food there is pretty mediocre, and I guess that place is not supposed to be like this extremely extravagant place. I worked at a really nice place once back in Japan, at a hotel, which was alright, but um, I don't know, it was a mid experience because it was so intense. It was basically my first time working at a place like that. So I was super anxious. But I was also disappointed that I got a table with just kids. Coincidentally, it was supposed to be a mix of kids and adults, but the kids wanted to sit together, so which is fine. I mostly served drinks, sometimes food. But yeah, it was alright. But my point was that working these places, I kind of start to enjoy the culture around it. And then also one time I did like a proper course menu as well. I guess that had quality food. So at the hotel there's like different, the shifts are always different events, you know. You never know. And one time it was this, you know, usually the guests are standing up, but they were sitting down, and it was like a proper course where we go around in a circle around each table and then serve at the same time and everything. It was very hectic, stressful. Like my colleague would be like, let's go," when he's the one slowing down, or you need to be on like, you need to serve, like for example, I need to serve like the fourth table, but the numbers don't add up, so like there's a little confusion, and sometimes a person that's supposed to be on the fifth would put the plate in front of the four, and that would piss me off. And it's kind of a stressful thing, but at the same time, that's what makes it enjoyable, this hectic environment. I really like that. I don't know what it is. Maybe I romanticize this weird human practice or culture from media or whatever, and now that I get to be part of it, it's fun. But yeah, and of course, this leads up to the point that I enjoy Gordon Ramsay a lot. Um, I just like, I don't really watch proper series, but I watch some clips of Hell's Kitchen. That's really fun, just seeing him shout and scream. But the fast-paced, hot-headed scene of cooking, that's really cool. And yeah. I forgot to focus on the fillers while I was talking. Hopefully, I was not saying much. We'll see. That's. I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. Maybe I'll post something next week or something. Or something. Yeah, but I really enjoy working there. But that's not where my future is. Well, we'll see. Yeah. Okay. 20 minutes now. I don't want to make a long video, so that's it. Oh, I also enjoy cooking, of course. And I do want to get better at cooking. And I just enjoy like this planning of what food I would make for the day or for the week, and then writing a list of like groceries, and then going grocery shopping and min-maxing the prices, you know. So I get the cheapest grocery shopping, you know. And it goes well. Recently the Lidl opened up near me, so that is really fun. It's so much cheaper, but I did the big mistake of going. There's like three grocery stores. One of them is like this Asian one, and the vegetables there seem cheaper, so I bought it. And then I go to Lidl, and I realized the Lidl versions were cheaper. I was like, damn. I knew Lidl was cheaper. I should have just, you know, went with my initial gut. But yeah, it's fine. Now I know Lidl is cheaper. Except for eggs. Eggs, I feel like Albert Heijn is cheaper for some reason. There's just one cheaper option. Well, two cheaper options. So yeah. Okay. Well, hope you have a good day or whatever.